especially after Joseph Kosinski just came out with the best film of his career with Top Gun Maverick. How is he going to follow that up here with F1? Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into the new Apple Original movie, F1. Before we do, please do not forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. I'm trying to get this little channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. If I do, I'll be giving away a free $150 gift card to a random subscriber of my choice. And if you comment down below, you have a higher chance of winning. So Joseph Kosinski came out with Top Gun Maverick a few years ago. A lot of people were skeptical when they announced that movie, and it was, I think, one of the best movies of the last 5 years. Maybe it was the best movie of the last 5 years in terms of a just plain forward blockbuster. It is one of those movies that every time it's on TV, I feel like I stop and watch because it's just so amazing to see the spectacle that happens on screen. A lot of that is Kosinski's ability. A lot of that, of course, is also what Tom Cruise brings to the screen in that film and his dedication. We saw the first teaser trailer for F1 about a year ago, and I was very excited. I had a feeling that they were going to put you straight into the driver's seat of being an F1 racer. This time we have Brad Pitt as the lead character of the film, and I am a big Brad Pitt fan. He's done a lot of my favorite movies of all time in the past. The fact this is basically Apple Original's first big summer blockbuster, I knew they were going to put a huge budget into it. And does that come through on screen? It definitely does. As F1 absolutely feels like a grandiose blockbuster film, as I do definitely recommend seeing this movie in IMAX as I did. So at the core of F1, after seeing it, I will say this basically is just a typical sports story put into a big summer blockbuster racing movie. I don't watch F1. I don't know much about it. I have a lot of respect for the sport. It looks like something that is very difficult and tough to do. And going into this movie, something I wanted to get out of it is having more of a love for F1 and possibly starting to watch it after this film. So getting into this world and just figuring out more of what it's all about and the difficulties and challenges you have to go through to maybe win a race. I will say that is definitely a negative of the movies. I don't feel more invested in the F1 world after this movie. After watching this film, I can definitely tell this is not how the F1 world works, because that brings us to the story of F1. Brad Pitt plays a character named Sonny Hayes. He used to be a big racer. Of course, he's been out of the game for many years because something happened in his life. Again, a typical 90s sports story trope. Javier Bardem, who owns a racing company, used to race with Brad Pitt's character. So he goes to Brad Pitt and says, "Hey man, how about you come race for us? Even though it's been many years, we have a long shot here. I'm going to lose the company. Can you maybe possibly win the race?" And with that, the underdog story gets created. It reminds me of one of those boxing movies where suddenly the underground boxer gets a title shot. You think to yourself, there's no way this would happen in real life. That's kind of how F1 is. Brad Pitt gets thrown into racing and suddenly he's racing on the big stage in F1. You got to throw that to the side. Big summer blockbuster, whatever. Let me just try to enjoy this film. It's all fun and dandy, it being a broad audience type movie. The main issue of that for me is it having a runtime of 2 hours and 36 minutes long. I think it would have been a lot tighter if F1 was about 120 minutes. Top Gun Maverick felt like it went by seamlessly. Every single scene was paced to perfection. I will say there were several times during F1 where I looked at my watch and thought to myself, damn, it's only been an hour and a half and we still got a lot more to go. I am one of those people that would look at F1 like a film critic would. However, a lot of people are going to go into this movie just wanting to see races on screen, and there is absolutely that. The racing looks fantastic. The camera angles are immaculate. You get a lot of the same tricks from Top Gun Maverick, and that is not a bad thing. As you put that into the racing world, you feel like you're in the driver's seat with Brad Pitt for most of the movie. So outside of the racing, there's a lot of stuff that happens to the characters that you've seen many times before in sports movies, but Joseph Kosinski is not going to hide away from that fact. He knows exactly what he's doing and what he's going for. Javier Bardem is also in this movie. I said before, he's the owner of the racing company. It's also great to see him in the movie. He never fails. I love seeing that guy on screen every single time. He can be a sports cheesy character in this movie at times. However, still love it. Damson Idris plays the other racer that is on the same crew as Brad Pitt. He is Joshua Pierce. That is one thing I do like about this film. It is not a rivalry between two racers on two different teams. They're actually on the same team, which actually brings some pretty good dynamic between the characters, because the rival racer with Brad Pitt's character is not just some evil villain type guy. He's also someone that has a good backstory, and you end up rooting for him just as much as you root for the Brad Pitt character. So I keep asking myself, was I disappointed in F1? I think it's one of those movies I was hoping for something a little more serious in the F1 world, but it's just more of a broad audience blockbuster type film, and if you really like that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The racing was great. The rest of the movie was fine. F1 is in the category of very rewatchable just because of how good everything looks. I just think it would be a lot more rewatchable if it was just cut down by maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So yeah, F1, fun movie. Does not reach the levels of Top Gun Maverick did. However, a lot of people are going to really enjoy this one. I'm going to go ahead and give F1 a 65 out of 100. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive, and we will see you next time.